Hello everybody, Ian Robson here for another episode of Idaho. Alright, we got a couple things going on today. Alright, so if you remember from the previous episode, we were working away at this field right here. We're currently just finishing up harvesting this barley field right here. And we should be done, fairly soon actually. We don't have too much left here to worry about. There should be like maybe 3 more passes, including this one, I would just suspect. Still got the GMC. He's currently unloading the... I guess I could unload him now. He's currently unloading the case 9230. That's what it is. Yeah, 9230. He's unloading the 9230 at the moment, and he's doing a pretty good job actually. Sometimes the GMC doesn't always work as well as we would like, but for some of these jobs it works really, really perfectly, which is good. Actually, a lot of times around harvest season, you'll see trucks like that, just with like an engine and a box in the back, unloading combines, depending on the size of the field, of course. Like in this scenario, this is a fairly small field, so having a truck going back and forth to your silos at your main farm is actually not a terrible idea. That, or, well, I guess it could use an overloader, but might be a bit too small for an overloader. But there's other reasons to use an overloader as well, right? Like maybe it's really wet here and that's the reason why I'd want to use one in order to reduce the chances of the truck getting stuck, because of course that would happen in a lot of scenarios. Especially this year at least. This year's been really bad for a wet... It's been a really wet year, let's say. Anyways, I didn't want this one, I wanted this guy right here. We're going to go ahead and spread some lime. Actually, we don't have a tractor down there, so we can't do anything about that. Alright, so... I think maybe I didn't name it. Anyways, we're going to go spread some lime on field 8, which is the one we just finished harvesting not too long ago. Because that pH has dropped down to ridiculously low levels again. I think it's down to something like 4.5 or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's the reason. I'm not sure if it's because we took the straw off and that's the reason why it dropped down. The pH drops down so low. Let me know if you guys know if that actually happens or not. If the pH drops lower if you take the straw off. I think it's with a straw mod that can happen, but I'm not sure 100%. So let me know if you guys know. I would be curious to find out. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and fill up a little bit, fill up this guy with straw. Why would we fill this up with straw? We're going to go ahead and fill it up with lime first of all, and then we'll go ahead and do a lime tour, so to speak. Alright, so we have our lime down here, which I think is the last one right here. And of course the case Patriot's in my way. So let's move them out of the way. We'll just put them off to the side here. Just so it's out of the way, but still there. Nice in the shade. Nice. Alright, let's grab the truck. And one of the cool things about this is that I'm like right in front of it right now, and I can guarantee you this is where the trigger is. So if you look where the orange box is, that's the trigger for this lime right here. And one of the things I really appreciate of the person who made this placeable mod is if I'm on A type fertilizer, I actually can't refill here, which is kind of interesting. If I change it to B, still can't fill here. C, still can't fill here. But if I change it to lime, I can. Likewise, if I go here to the C fertilizer, I'm not able to load, I'm not able to refill my truck right here with C fertilizer. So that's one of the really nice things about this. So it stays on the type you've chosen, which is really nice because on the other triggers, like this trigger in here, for example, if I were to drive the truck in there, it would only be able to fill up with type A, which is a little annoying. So not for drinking. Oh, that's not fit for drinking. Sorry, not. Alright, so that's one of the really nice things about this mod. There's also one for herbicide too, so if you place down the same mod for herbicides, it'd be the same deal, just with herbicides. Which is nice. Actually, the field I want to go to is over there. Let's So let's head over there. Excellent. Alright, so like I said, we need to spread a little bit of lime down on this field here. So let's go ahead and do that. So we took off the, let's check the pH first. I don't know what the pH is. Yeah, so extreme acidity, I thought so. It seems a bit strange that we would have that much, that hot, low, I guess, of pH, but whatever. Alright, so let's do a pass at the end here. And I'm just going to get a little bit of the edges here a little bit, just because we want to hopefully bring up the pH on the edges as well. Although it doesn't always work that way because, yeah, I'm not going to stay in there, just because of things. Also, that'll allow me to turn around without taking apart a lot of things. Alright, so that's probably a little bit too much overlap, but it'll do fine. Alright, let's turn the GPS mod on, let's set it up for that, let's set it up for that, and there we go. Perfect. I'm terrible at lining things up, that's why I end up using the GPS mod. And looks like our case combine, which is invisible at the moment, somewhere down there it is. He's probably just doing his last pass there, I imagine, so he's going to be done really soon, which means we need to take off this straw soon, which means we probably should bring down one of the I think the chopper's already here though. I'm not sure. I have to look actually. But alright, let's take a turn. Just going to get the edge there a little bit. And then turn back this way. Perfect. Nice. So like I said, the reason why I want to get the edge is because it is factored into the ultimate pH level, which is kind of silly when you think about it, but just the way it is. So I have the front end loader. He's currently unloading the silage into the bunker, feed bunker, I guess you can call it. Actually, just yesterday and today, I finished watching the video today, but Carabear76 and Farmer Beavis did a really cool little series on the BGA extension, which I think is a pretty nifty little mod. What it does basically is, let me just make the turn here so I don't screw it up. What it basically does is adds a BGA extension. So what it is you have to buy the BGA when you have the mod installed, which is interesting. Adds a little bit extra element to the game. You have to buy the BGA. You have to, I would say, what's a good way of saying it? Monitor the levels, because the way it works, as far as I've understood, is it will, there we go, it will adjust, it'll only run at 2 times during the day. It'll run at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. So it only has 2 cycles. It only runs for an hour, excuse me. Only runs for an hour. So what happens is you fill it, and then it'll run for an hour, and then in between those 2 times, like 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., it's not running at all. So, which is good, because then I don't know if it takes less or more or the same amount, but you can actually increase and decrease the efficiency of your BGA, which is really cool. So if you want it to use more or produce more power, because the BGA extension kind of makes like a more realistic BGA, because it produces a certain amount of power when you have a certain amount of material in it. So for example, if you put solid manure, you can get a solid manure bonus, or I think you get a liquid manure bonus as well, but they're just called the manure bonus basically, which gives you more money. And the cool thing about the BGA is instead of working the way this one works right now, like the one I have on this map, where I can just have my front loader constantly unloading into it over time and giving me money that way. The way it works in the BGA extension is you fill it up and it runs, like I said, for an hour, and then throughout the day, as far as I saw, you get money from the BGA, which I thought was kind of cool. So it kind of gives you money throughout the day because of the way you've set it up, and you can potentially make more money when you put manure in it, which I thought was really neat. Actually, David Oldfield was talking about this one a while back. He wanted to try it on his Let's Play. that he's doing on Conestoga, and I think it's Conestoga he wants to do it on. And he wasn't sure about it, but Farmer Bia speaks German, which is nice because the BGA extension, the mod itself, a lot of the information is all in German, so if you're trying to figure out how to do things, not very helpful if you don't speak German, but luckily he does, so he was able to decipher all the information, which is really helpful for us people who don't speak German. And then he did a little video with Caravera explaining how it works, and I think it's a really cool little mod. Specifically for maps that really, their centerpiece of the map is something like the BGA. For example, biofuel or New Oaks biofuels, where Caravera is playing on, like that is a really good example of how it could be a really interesting element, or could add a really interesting element to the game, at least in my opinion. Some people might consider it, might think it's a little bit too much work. However, I think if you're willing to put in like the little, it doesn't. I know in the long run, it's actually not that much more work because you only need to fill it twice a day essentially, instead of having it all day. Now, the thing that you do need to be careful about is you do need to, I don't know, you do need to, what's the word I'm looking for? I love the Jake brake on this thing, although it can get annoying because I coast a lot. Anyways, let's refill this guy here. It's off and it's got the engine brake going. That makes no sense. It definitely adds an interesting element to the game, but you do have to monitor it more. And you have to monitor it more just because if you don't, it'll cost you money actually if you don't maintain it. So the way it works is if it shuts down because you let all the material out of it and there's nothing left in it anymore, you will have to pay X number of dollars in order to restart your biogas digester essentially. Which makes sense because in real life, we want this guy here. I have to bring this up for a sec. Let's just request a driver. And let's just stick this pipe out here. There we go. Which makes sense because it's not free to start and stop the biodigester. So that's what they did with it. They made it so it costs money to start it, which I think is kind of cool actually. Alright, let's plow this under. As I've mentioned before, I probably should set it up so, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. There we go. Probably should set it up so, I lost my train of thought now. Jeez, I hate when that happens. It's so actually, what's the worst case scenario for me at least is when I'm trying to explain a concept to a student or something like that. And I'm going through the concept, I'm all into it, and because I get like excited about grammar sometimes, which is kind of strange, I know. But I'll be explaining something, and I'm like, okay, this is how you do it, this is how you do it, yada yada yada, and then they'll ask a question, and then I'll just totally forget where I left off. So it happens sometimes, you know, it happens to the best of us. So this is one of those scenarios where, you know, you don't want to forget what you're going for, but it happens. So anyways, time for coffee. It's funny, last couple, I guess last little while I've been recording the episodes before I even go to work. So it's been nice because when I come back from work I don't need to worry about recording episodes. And I was away at my in-laws for Thanksgiving there, the Canadian Thanksgiving, for those people who celebrated that. Happy Thanksgiving, or post-Thanksgiving I guess it would be in this scenario. So by the time this video releases it's probably going to be way past Thanksgiving, but that's fine. Here we go. Let's make a turn. Don't run into any trees. There we go. Lower it down. Nice. Ah. Totally missed that last little bit there. Yeah, so happy Thanksgiving for those Canadians out there who are watching. I know the Americans have their Thanksgiving in November, I think it is. I think that's when it is, at least. Come on. I'm not waiting long enough, I guess is what it is. There we go. Jeez. Yeah, it just takes a while to get started there. And yeah, we had a good Thanksgiving. We spent the weekend there. Was able to help out for the farmers market because they run a stand at the farmers market in their city. Excuse me. And that was a lot of fun. I don't normally work the farmers market, but it's always interesting when you do. You get to meet a lot of interesting people. If you ever have worked at farmers market, let me know. I'm kind of curious what your experience has been. Most of my experience has been fairly positive. I found out I'm pretty terrible at handling money when I have to do a money exchange because I haven't had many jobs that where I've had to do that. Basically, most of my jobs have all been teaching related, or I wouldn't call them office related jobs, but a lot of my jobs have never. Well, all of my jobs never included any money. Let's just say that. But because of that, when I go to handle money at the farmers market, I'm terrible at it. I just fumble all over the place. It's one of those things that over time you get better at it, and let's just hope I get better at it. Anyhow. But yeah, like I was saying, the BGA extension mod seems really, really, really cool. I really think it's an awesome mod. And the mod author seems to have thought of pretty much everything, which is amazing. Because that very rarely happens, where the mod author has anticipated lots of different things. Like, one of the things you're able to do with the mod is you're able to sell slurry to it. So one of the questions that Kara Vera asked was, well, can't you just, take slurry out of the slurry tank and then put it back in and make money from that? And the mod author actually thought of that, because what he did was he made it so once you take it out, it gets tagged as a certain type. So you can't do that, which is interesting. Pretty innovative, actually. I believe that the mod is, I think it's in version 2 now, which is pretty cool. So it's been around for, I noticed the mod a long time ago, I guess, now, but it's one of those ones I didn't know enough about, and I didn't that's where he wants to go for that, eh? Okay, whatever. I didn't know much about. Let's see if we actually destroy these or plow under these bushes. I hope we do. That'd be kind of cool. Yep. Plunk. Here we go. Anyways, that's one of the cool things. More maps should have this feature, as I've mentioned before. Anyhow, yeah, it adds an interesting little element to the game, and I'm definitely gonna try it out, I think. But the only problem is it's so late in the game, so late in 2015 or 2013, sorry, that it's like, well, do you try out the mod or do you not try out the mod? Because 2015's coming out. What is it? October 16th today, so it comes out in like 2 weeks, basically. So 2 weeks. Pretty excited. The one thing I realized is I have to be a bit careful, because I have videos made almost up until the end of October already. So I have to remember not to schedule videos when the release of the new game comes out, which would be kind of awkward. I probably will, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, let's make this turn here, lift up the plow. Take a nice wide turn here. I don't know if this would actually be considered a plow in real life. I wondered about that a while back. Some people probably wouldn't... What? How am I missing that? I'm missing a little tiny strip. And I bet you it's because there's an offset now or something. I can't even tell. Oops. I wanted the information up. Where is it? Yeah, that's what it was. Well, still doing the same thing. Oh well. No, now it's fixed it. Go figure. I had that little strip right there the whole time. It's gonna go away, mind you, just because with the cedar and whatnot, it'll get they'll get rid of it, but let's take a look at this guy who is done. Let's move him out of the way. One of the things I really, really like about this header is you can just go plunk and then put the trailer on it right away, which is really, really nice. Doesn't like it doing that way though, apparently. It's really nice because it makes it really easy to transport, because normally I have to bring over a whole other vehicle. Well, I don't have to, but I end up doing it that way to transfer this guy around. And I think I can actually fold it. Yes, there we go. I can fold this guy too, which is nice. So even though this is a monstrous combine, you can actually fold it up fairly small, which is a cool little function of it. Alright. Let's put this guy... Let's refill this guy with fuel first, I think. And then... I don't think we have any other fields that are ready to be combined. 13 and 1 are going to be the next field that will be ready, it looks like, though. From what it seems like. And we already fertilized 24, 25. And these have been fertilized, I think, already. I think. We have a little bit of silage there. We should get rid of that. Alright, so let's go refuel. There's a fuel station over here. I like how they... One of the things I really like about this map is the fact that it has like 2 separate fuel stations. So this one is kind of like the oddball. So this is where I end up filling up vehicles that are just going to sit here for a while, like this guy. And then I can just walk away from it, which is nice. And stop the driver. Let's do this. There we go. Let's fill this guy up with fuel because apparently he needs some. Yeah, so the way the BGA extension works is like you have the same sort of things all around here. Like that's all the same, this is the same. All it really changes is the interface. So right here, I would walk up to this and it would give me some information about what is in here. So right now I only have silage in here, so I would be producing X number of kilowatts. And if I put solid manure in here, then I would produce more. Well, I get a manure bonus, which means I get a bit more money, which is kind of cool. So, definitely thinking about taking a look at that mod and fiddling around with it. Maybe I'll do like one of those little testing series or something with it. Anyways, let's continue plowing. What's the pH at? 4.5, 4.6. I hope it increases. It'd be kind of annoying if it didn't increase, actually. It's possible, mind you, but hopefully it's not the case, but you never know, right? So, alright. So, of course. So what we're going to need to do is, I don't think, as I mentioned, I don't think we can plant cover crops on this map. If you remember from the last episode. Turn, turn, turn. Apparently it's going to go through the fence. Well, apparently it's better if I drive it. What is it caught on? It's funny, like, the majority of the trees on this map you can drive through, but there's a couple random ones you can't, and that's one of the random ones you can't, which is really funny, actually, because it's not going to like this. Are we going to be able to drive past? Yes, there we go. Which is really funny, actually, because it's like you... I don't know, when I play off camera sometimes I'll just drive through things in order to speed up a job, for example. And there's been like once or twice where I've tried to drive through those particular trees right there. And it's, I got burned because of it, let's say that. Alright. Let's lower that. Plow. Perfect. Nice. Good. Alright, so that seems like a good place as any to stop. What I'll do is I'll probably finish or do some more plowing off camera. Maybe not finish it, we'll see. But I think what we'll have to do is we'll have to take care of that silage right there, because I definitely want to make that field over there, or turn that straw into chaff. So, having said that, my name's Iain Robson. This has been Farming Simulator 2013 coming at you from Idaho. Catch you guys later.